What's up, traders? Welcome back to a new interview on my channel. Every single week I publish a new interview with a trader, someone in trading world, someone who can help you out become a better trader yourself. Now, this week we talk about TradingView, a platform that I started using about 5 years ago and has evolved a lot since then. I'm talking with the manager at TradingView this week, and we talk about things that he's seen the platform coming, things that he wants to improve, and also a bit of chat about TradingView in general and what things you can expect from the platform, and also why you should be trading with TradingView if you are able to do so. These days, a lot of brokers offer to trade on TradingView. You can connect with that platform, and that's something I've been using for a while, but I highly recommend you check it out also because of its user friendliness and the ability of the platform to do many things that other platforms can't. So today, Pierce Crosby, the manager at TradingView, is going to be able to give you some advice on that and what you do with the platform, what things are coming there, and it's really interesting to hear. So without further ado, let's dive right in the interview. So, Pierce, let's just begin with this. Tell people who you are and a bit of background about yourself and what you do at Trading.
Yeah, sure. So again, thanks for having me, and it's great to catch up with with some of our international audience. Yeah, I mean, my role here at TradingView is the general manager for North America, but I also broadly work with the executive team on product strategy, as well as overall kind of commercial development and business development. So yeah, I mean, obviously, I think your audience probably knows about TradingView in general, so I won't spend too much time on that. But yeah, I mean, my kind of main focus here is to kind of expand the business in a meaningful way and kind of grow us from a multi million dollar company to obviously a unicorn company is the goal for us.
Excellent. So definitely, I think a lot of people listening to the podcast and watching YouTube use TradingView. I use it a lot myself to kind of look at charts and everything. Why do you think TradingView is so important now for traders? Why do you think it's different from other platform? What makes it better or different?
Yeah, there's a lot of trading platforms out there today. I've been working in this space for, I want to say about 8 years now in terms of different types of trading platforms. So before this, I worked at Thomson Reuters, which is obviously more of an institutional type product with their Icon terminal. And then I also worked at StockTwits, which is a audience for retail investors, basically a chat network for US-based equities traders. In kind of differentiating, I think, from a lot of what other platforms do is, TradingView is a kind of globally scaled technology. So a lot of these products and platforms that you may see in the market today focus on a specific market or a specific geography. And there's a lot of kind of upstarts in Europe now that focus on kind of Europe broadly, or in the US, they focus on, say, US equities or US fixed income or something like that. So the DNA of TradingView is a global company, and as a result, you see that in the product. It reflects kind of a global audience. We have 25 specific language versions of TradingView. So, anywhere from TradingView Japan to TradingView India, TradingView Portuguese. All these different language versions kind of operate on their own, and I mean, as a result, it's globally distributed, and we do pull data from upwards of 70 exchanges around the world. So pretty competitive with our data. And of course, I could rap endlessly about the quality of our technology, but every other startup will tell you the same thing.
So you joined TradingView in around May of 2019, I believe. I'm curious to hear, can you tell people how TradingView came to be? Like, what was the inspiration behind it and the goal of TradingView in the first place?
Yeah, sure. It's a great story. So the original founders of TradingView started in Chicago back in 2012. Early 2011 is when the company actually started, but 2012 is really when things got underway. They joined a accelerator program called TechStars in Chicago, which again, focused on kind of commercializing the business and making it actually very scalable. the idea was pulled really from the founder's previous company. So before this, they actually founded a company called Multicharts, which is a very hardcore desktop software, and a little more heavy, a little more kind of that 90s kind of trading platform mentality, right? You download a software, it comes with all these add-ons and features and stuff like that. Great business for sure, but not nearly as scalable as a web-based product. So really taking a lot of the very hardcore features from the multi-charts days and applying them all to the web, so that a user could access basically all of the different features that you might get from a desktop software, and making them lightweight enough that you could actually run them on your internet browser, which at the time was extremely transformational. So these guys were the first ones to build fully native charting libraries, as well as kind of fully web responsive JavaScript for really kind of the hardcore trader who otherwise would be downloading a desktop software up until that point. So that was really the foundation and the reason. Since then, it's definitely evolved into being more of a comprehensive place for traders to hang out and chat. And we, recently launched a streaming product. We have a lot of kind of chats and kind of research products being built into the overall TradingView ecosystem. So it's really evolved into a lot more than just charts. But really, the initial idea was to just bring a very hardcore trading software to the web, and that was really kind of the initial reasoning, I guess, back in 2012.
It definitely grew a lot. I remember using TradingView the first time around 2016 or 15. It was good. There was like a few functions there. It was like really awesome. But then just got a lot better over the years, which is really fantastic. I'm curious to know, are you able to pinpoint what are like the top 1 to 3 main things people want to have on TradingView that they don't have yet?
Sure. I mean, things that people are really looking for, like what's the most in-demand products that we've yet to really address. I would say in terms of, from the social perspective, people want to see a lot more social features. So we do have kind of group chats, but we are now large enough as a platform where people want to have very, very targeted chats about specific assets and specific conversations. So there's a lot of interest in kind of expanding the diversity of different subjects around social and doing that on top of TradingView. In addition, I'd say, there's a ton of interest around visualizing assets in different ways other than a chart, just a standard kind of price oriented chart. And so people that want to look at, say, scatter plots or a lot of other kind of variation data visualizations. And so we've been working a lot on kind of diversifying what we do from a data visualization standpoint. And, I guess even though we've really addressed the issue with kind of the scale of data we have today, people still do want more. And at the end of the day, I think there's this insatiable appetite for everybody to get more data on the platform. So everybody's always still requesting, dozens of different data sets that we don't have yet. And, why can't I get, real-time futures data or options data or fixed income data or, a lot of these alternative data sets, which I'm not sure if you're super familiar, but, kind of non-traditional data sets. So like satellite data, credit card data, social sentiment data, a lot of these kind of nuanced data sets that in the hedge fund world are very widely used and kind of a key indicator of performance and growth. But in the retail sector or kind of the retail investor platform, those data sets really haven't made significant headway. And so we definitely feel that it is somewhat our job to bring some of those data sets to the average investor.
I've not really used, I think, the social aspect of TradingView that much in the past. It's not something that I really kind of look into, but why do you think people like the social aspect so much of like sharing their trades, sharing their ideas? Why do you think that's so important for people?
Yeah, I mean, I do think so. It's important to note that, the average user on TradingView spends more than 6 hours a day on TradingView.
That's a lot.
And the reason that is so important is, people are really like living on TradingView, and it is really kind of their daily product that they use. And as a result, I think there are definitely downtime, like in somebody's given trading day, or watching the markets. And so obviously people that do spend that amount of time, want to do something more than purely, analyzing charts. And so the social components become kind of a natural retention tool to basically keep people engaged and kind of involved in the platform on a daily basis. And so yeah, I'd say, probably the most popular is our chat, but yeah, I mean, people share trading ideas, or more research oriented trading ideas with the community. Probably we have close to, I don't know, it's something in the range of 50,000 or so kind of trade ideas per month, if you will, from kind of a research standpoint. So yeah, it's pretty active. We can do way more, but yeah, it's definitely something that people really love. Again, it really depends on how much time you're spending on the platform and the product. And so yeah, as a result, we see a huge variation, right? Some people, like yourself, might only come for just the charts, but a lot of people that kind of move to be more advanced on the platform, they definitely utilize a lot of those social features.
One thing that helped me a lot in the past was the integration you started to have with different brokers where you can place trades on TradingView. So is that the plan to kind of keep adding more of those? And what are some of the issues that come when adding different brokers to the platform?
Yeah, I mean, so this is a great project that I've been part of since I joined. And here in the U.S., we're quite close with a lot of the largest U.S. broker dealers, and one thing that they've definitely said is, we'd love to be able to provide trading connectivity to your customers, so that people can trade directly from where they spend all their time, which is on TradingView, right? Like they're there all day. So why not execute directly from TradingView as well? So it makes a lot of sense from our opinion in terms of just the overall workflow of a given investor. And so today we have about 15 or so integrated broker partners, but we do want to do more. And you're 100% right. It's very much the starting point, if you will, for the product. And so we do have some pretty big announcements, which should be live by the end of this year. Can't talk about specifically the name brands, but fair to say they are some of the largest in the world in terms of transaction volume and overall applicability to our clientele. And we try to prioritize the integrations based on the audience overlap. So obviously we have a global audience, we have a multi-asset audience, et cetera, et cetera. And so what we try to do is match the best in class broker dealers with that audience, so that we have a natural synergy there, and provide a lot of value both for the individual customer as well as the broker, right? The broker kind of generating these new accounts is extremely valuable for them.
Is it hard to add new brokers to the platform, or is it something that is done pretty easily? Because I know a lot of people are waiting for the broker to be added to the platform, so it might take a while for sure. What's the difficulty there?
Well, I'm not an engineer myself, so I can only, I guess, discuss what I see from the business side. Broadly speaking, yeah, it's a lot of hard work. I think people really discredit the fact that integrating a new brokerage API with both data functionality as well as trading functionality. So we call it read write functionality is not as easy as it might seem. We did acquire a company in late 2018 called Trade It. here in the US. And this was really to accelerate that mission and vision of integrating more trading partners. So Traded is very well established in a lot of the US brokerage partners. And so that's accelerated our timeline with a couple of key trading partners here in the US. But yeah, I mean, on average, integrations can take anywhere from a month. In some cases, actually, we've rolled out a couple within 2 weeks. But on average, between a month and 3 months is kind of the rough timeline from kind of a developing project from the get-go all the way to execution.
Are there brokers that don't want to be on TradingView for some reason, or is it pretty common for brokers to want to be on TradingView?
Yeah, great question. So I do think, initially we have had some pushback from a couple parties because of, a belief that this might not be compliant or potentially, they're missing out on some kind of revenue opportunity. Ultimately, as we grow, the conversation becomes much easier. TradingView is now at a size where, we're very much on their radar. And so as a result, there's much less need for me to go and, kind of really tell this, insane story and vision about how we've, become the size we are. It really does speak for itself. And as a result, a lot of brokers are now much more receptive than they were, even a year or two ago. Our continued growth kind of really, again, it shows the brokerage industry, it shows kind of the retail industry that we're not kind of a small platform, we're very much sticking around for the long term. And so it's in their interest to get involved. So that's been a huge benefit for the overall business. In terms of holdouts, I do think we still have a couple holdouts. But perfectly fine. I mean, our pipeline for partners is quite long, so I'm quite happy with the current folks that have agreed to join us.
That's awesome. The other topic I want to talk about is PineScript and in general like algo. So that's something I've seen a big evolution in. So you used to have only a few basic functions, then you went to like being able to do some backtest with the bar replay, and then to like PineScript, more advanced scripts. So what do you think is the future of that? Is there going to be a point where we can maybe use algos on TradingView to take trades there automatically? Or is that kind of too far and out of the scope of the platform?
Yeah, so that functionality, as you well mentioned, is highly requested. So one thing that I think is important to keep in mind is that TradingView is really a network of folks who are teaching each other how to invest. Also, we have a very hardcore audience that's using PineScript and trade automations and advanced stops, advanced orders, and all this stuff. But we have to build for both worlds, right? So the one thing about trade automation that I do think is somewhat worrisome from an industry standpoint overall is that in some cases it can very much kind of replace or kind of I guess offload the necessary burden of learning how to trade. And simply I'll just copy this PineScript, plug it into my brokerage connection, and then it'll trade for me. And I do love the idea of having that functionality, but the other side of me thinks that potentially you're opening up a kind of a slippery slope as to will people still really invest in learning the platform, et cetera, or will they just start building copy trading type setups and kind of remove themselves from the equation or not really learn to trade themselves. I do think that we very much like to add as much functionality as we can. There are certain restrictions around copy trading, especially here in the US, even if we're not the broker dealer, to provide that full automation. There are certain restrictions and regulations. So safe to say we are moving into the space, but very delicately, if you will.
One thing that you mentioned, which I also remember, is the fact that TradingView, when I moved to it the first time, when I used it for the very first time, was like really simple to use, like quite straightforward, really intuitive. And I feel like it's still the same way, but how do you make sure to keep that aspect compared to like adding new features all the time? Because is there going to be a point where there's like too many features and not a good user experience? Do you think that's going to happen, or how do you overcome that?
Yeah, probably one of the biggest, questions for TradingView for sure is, again, we have this huge new audience that's come to us that's, very top of funnel, they're very much learning the business. And then there are also our super advanced traders who, continue to use the platform and continue to improve on it over time. And really, it's two whole separate kind of, I guess, really like philosophies on how do you build product. Do you build it for a very, early, audience, or do you build it for the really advanced guys? Historically speaking, we are the advanced category. That's what we do is, build really advanced trading tools. But we do see a need to kind of build for the everyday investor. Because a lot of people are just really getting started in the industry, and as a result, we can play a significant role in their education and generally how they kind of experience markets in general. So I think we constantly battle with this. In terms of the emphasis, the emphasis for us is still heavily focused on the advanced traders and the sophisticated traders. Because that is really our lifeblood. The best way to do this in terms of, really understand it is if you look at the team itself. So, all three of the founders are, two of the founders are kind of advanced traders themselves. They previously wrote a ton of scripting languages in easy language for TradeStation back in the day. And, So they really do ascribe to that advanced trading philosophy. Whereas, I do think that there is some need to address kind of the more retail audience, and obviously my joining is a big kind of move in that direction. But overall, the emphasis is still going to be on the hardcore guys. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is really good to know. And I suggest people watching this video now to comment maybe below with a question if they have any question about TradingView or your plans or whatever. And maybe someone from your team can go back and answer those questions. I think that would be awesome. Because there's a lot we can cover here that maybe I don't use or I don't really think about, but I think the audience could be able to ask questions there. That would be awesome.
Yeah, we're definitely open book. I mean, we're always looking for customer feedback and always kind of trying to improve on the core product itself. So if folks from either your live stream or from the podcast are curious and learning more, or just want to talk about a specific product or product roadmap, we're definitely happy to help. We're actually very much thinking about making our product roadmap public so that people can really kind of dive in and see themselves, what's the top priorities for TradingView, what are they working on, and we really think it'd be great to get community feedback for that. So if there are folks that do want to dive in more deeply with us, have them feel free to reach out, and we're happy to talk about it.
Awesome. So I know we touched on a few different topics like here and there in this interview, but are you able to kind of maybe tell a few things that are coming to TradingView, a few features or things that people might benefit from? Either if we want to talk about the things that we don't talk about, but if you don't want to say too much, that's totally fine too. Up to you.
Yeah, I think, we definitely have touched on quite a bit. We definitely want to move in the direction of, again, providing more customization for PineScript. We also are discussing the idea of importing data to TradingView. So as an individual customer, being able to port your own data to the product versus using our master symbology and master data files, which is a big step for the company. In addition to that, more broker partners on the horizon. Broadly speaking, we have a big upgrade coming for screeners. So if you haven't used the screener tool, I encourage you to, over the next couple of months to take a look. There's a lot of additional features coming there. And then besides that, I'd say, social as well. It's a big focus for us in terms of, new products. We probably won't launch too many new products in social, but we're always trying to improve it and make it better. So, like you said, and when you joined in 2015 or so, the product is very different today than it was back then. We now have about 170 engineers full time. And so they are building a ton of stuff all the time. And so every time I go to TradingView, there's usually something new there, which is great. My previous company, we were a team of 35 or so, and total. So the engineering team was maybe 15, and it's just super hard to ship product when you're so lean. So it's fantastic to see kind of the scale and growth that these guys have really built, and the product speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people, it's really crazy, but we see the product and the product improve all the time, which is awesome to see, of course. So it's been going well, so I really appreciate it. I appreciate your time, Pierce. So what can people go if they want to connect with you or talk with someone on TradingView or connect with TradingView more? What can they go to find you?
Sure. Find me on TradingView. My handle is actually from, I think, 2015 as well. I think that's when I joined. And you can find me on TradingView. Just type my name, Pierce Crosby. I'm pretty readily available on Twitter as well. I'm a big fan of Twitter's product and the platform there. So, feel free to follow me, to, DM me, whatever. But that's usually the best. Yeah, broadly speaking, if you're, kind of more on the business side, LinkedIn is fine. I think generally speaking, a lot of business now just happens on TradingView. So feel free to reach out.
Awesome. I should put the link below in the video description or on the podcast channel for sure, with your TradingView handle, Twitter, and everything. So thank you very much, Pierce. I appreciate it. I think it's been good. And I hope we connect pretty soon to see what new features TradingView has in the coming weeks or months. It's going to be awesome.
Keep us posted. And thanks for the chat. It's a great combo.